Hi, I'm Kesenya and welcome to Guiding Star Astrology. I'm your Astro Weather Girl, here with this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm going to show you how the stars are going to affect your life this week. To get the most out of this video, listen to the introduction to understand what is going to happen astrologically this week and when it will occur. Then use the timestamps in the description box or comments section below to go to your sun, moon, and rising signs to see how things will generally affect you. This is a general read of the astrological energies that will be playing out this week. For a specific assessment of how the planetary energies will affect you personally, I would suggest getting a reading with a professional astrologer. You can do so with me through the Guiding Star Astrology website. If you're new to astrology, you are so welcome on this platform. If you would like to learn to read your own astrology chart, you can do a short, fun course with me for $35 Australian. The link is in the description below. Thank you to all my YouTube subscribers and my Patreon family members. Without you, this video and its message would not be possible. Hello beautiful friends out there in YouTube land. It is wonderful to be with you for this week's Astro Weather Report. Thanks for joining me. We're looking at the week from the 10th of July through to the 17th of July. There's a lot happening in this week. We have a new moon coming up in the sign of Cancer. That new moon report, I prepare a new moon report for my Patreon family every month. And so if you would like an all signs breakdown for that, check out the link in the description below to my Patreon family and see what it's all about, where you can get your all signs breakdown for the new and full moons each month. There is also coming up, just as I'm speaking of my Patreon community, there is also an Astro Chat coming up this month, get my dates right. There's an Astro Chat coming up. That'll be coming up on the 22nd of July, where we meet live. We share our thoughts about what's going on astrologically in the world. This month we're looking at Neptunalia, which is a celebration that's an ancient, obviously, celebration of Neptune. We're going to be looking at that. We'll also, can ask questions of me, and I can share whatever knowledge that I have with you. Obviously there's some things I can't answer, but whatever knowledge I have on certain topics, I'm happy to share. So the Astro Chat went very well last month. I'm looking forward, not last month, it's once a quarter. So it went very well last time, and we're looking forward to doing that again. So let me tell you perhaps a little bit about this new moon. I'm not going to do an all signs breakdown, but it's happening on the 10th. And this will be occurring, as I mentioned, in the sign of Cancer. Wherever Cancer falls for you, check that out in your chart, because that's where something new might be being established this month. And as with all new moons, it's a time for going inward, and we don't make intentions around the new moon. Contrary to what you might hear from other astrologers, it's actually traditionally very unwise to do so when the moon is invisible. The moon is a manifesting planet. And if you're making intentions when the moon is not seen in the sky and her energy is not visibly present, how are you going to manifest anything? It's crazy. So the dark period of the moon is when we actually go inward and reflect. We review, we internalize, we process. So that's a very important thing to keep in mind. I talk extensively about this in my reports. But this is a deep and emotional sign, Cancer. So I'd encourage you to sort of take some private time to do this introspective work that we like to do during this dark period of the moon around the 10th of July. Take some time to go within, and maybe you might like to do that in a private space, in your home even, as is the nature of the sign of Cancer. Cancer, because it's a private sign, I mean, think about the little crab that rules Cancer. You know, when it's scared, it retreats into its little shell and its home to scuttle away and will be safe. And so this Cancer energy is the same. We need to honor this energy at this time of the new moon by nourishing ourselves in an environment that feels safe and secure and protected for us. And when we do this, we actually build our internal fortitude. our ability to interact with the world well once we have an established foundation, an established sense of emotional security. So if you need to take some time out around this new moon in Cancer to sort of build your internal fortitude, then take that opportunity. The time is right to do so. But we're actually not going to be looking at the new moon in Cancer this week. We're going to be looking at some other things. Before we get to that, I want to say that the best days to initiate some sort of action this week are on either the 14th or the 15th. And the reason that is because of the final aspect the moon will be making, which is an empowered aspect on those days. So in that sign. And so that's if you've got things planned, it's a really good couple of days to instigate new action on the 14th and 15th. Back to my notes. So this week we are actually looking at some different energies, not the new moon. We're looking at Mercury making a trine to Jupiter up here in Cancer, to Jupiter down in Pisces. They're both at 1 degree. And so this is an important event, and it will be occurring on the 13th of July. So hallelujah, after a rocky start that we had to July with the T-square that formed between Saturn, Mars and Uranus, yikes, we're now encountering some uplifting energy through this beautiful benevolent trine. And so we're going to feel more optimistic. Our thought patterns, Mercury, will be uplifted into optimism, Jupiter, positivity, and we perhaps will feel more mentally balanced at this time as well. So a lot to be grateful to the universe for moving us through that T-square energy and now into this benevolent combination. So it's a beautiful energy for engaging in neighborhood activities, group actions, travel, even small trips, because, well, actually Jupiter is large trips and Mercury is the small localized travel. So it's a great energy for doing any kind of trips that you might have to do or that you would enjoy doing. It's also really good for teaching and facilitating, leading workshops, that kind of thing. It will be, if you've got to do any of those kinds of things around this day, the 13th of July, they'll be hassle-free and they'll flow and they'll work, which is what we always want, isn't it? Now, if you have any legal matters that you need to attend to, this is also a good day. If you need to sign contracts or look at proposals, any type of communications that you have to undertake with other people can be very blessed under this energy as well. So sign your paperwork around this day. It's going to support a big picture outcome for you to do so, and you'll have what it takes to look at the big picture, but to also understand and comprehend the minute details as well, which is always very good when we're looking at contracts and we're evaluating legal matters. So that's the first thing that's happening on July the 13th. But there's another energy that is really where I want to focus, and that is this little fellow here, a conjunction between Mars and Venus. So this happens once a year. It's not an unusual energy, but it's a lovely energy. So I really want to talk about it. It's very, well, what we'd call astrologically juicy. And it's two passionate planets coming together. So we're talking about passion in all areas of life. Now, Venus is our desire. You may have thought that was Mars. Yes, that's what most astrologers will tell you, but it's actually that Venus is the desire itself within us. I want, I would like, I love, desire, Venus. But Mars is the action that we take to get those desires. The desire itself comes from Venus, but the action comes from Mars. And so when we've got these two together, we have the ability to link our actions with our desires and make things happen. So it's a very, very exciting type of energy. I love it. So if you want some inspiration, look to your desires on the 13th of July, because you'll be given guidance from the universe about what you really love, what your desires are, and get guidance about how to enact that to make it happen for you, to manifest it. Inspiration for more fulfillment. Yes. Enthusiasm for creating more beauty in the world. Venus is beauty, Mars is enthusiasm. Yes, this is the day for that. Delight in moving your body. Yes, because Mars is the muscles and the body, and Venus is what we delight in. So you'll get joy out of moving your body. If you want sensual enjoyment, because these are two planets connected to sexuality, like Venus is the sensual touch, kind of enjoyable side of sex, the sensuality of sex, and Mars is the let's get it on physicality of sex. So these two combining can bring a lot of delight and enjoyment in the physical expression of love too. So yes, it's a great day for all of those kinds of things being birthed. So if it also activates any personal planets in your chart, then some people may fall in love on this day. If you've got any planets around, oh golly, I think it's, I might just have to pause the video and check what degree this is at. Thanks for that. We're at 19 degrees. I did know that, so it just went blank all of a sudden. So 19 degrees of Leo is where this is occurring. And if you have personal planets around 19 degrees of Leo, or even 19 degrees of Aquarius, where this energy is sort of sending an opposition, then it is possible that you will feel this triggering more strongly than others. It could also be, depending on the planet and the configuration of the planets in your chart, could also mean that you may fall in love, which would be very, very nice. And when I say fall in love, that could be with anything, couldn't it? Like, yes, a man or a woman, but it could be that you fall in love with your beautiful garden, or a little puppy dog, or a new meal that you love to cook. And I just love this this food, or whatever. Venus is food, it is nature. Venus is, the beautiful luxuries and pleasures and enjoyments that we have in life, and there's potential here for you to fall in love with some new expression of that as well. So really quite exciting. So that's what we're seeing coming up of significance in the week ahead. Remember, now I'm looking at a singular energy that is unfolding, and if you want to know about other energies that are unfolding this week, then check out my Facebook and Instagram pages, where I share what events are happening astrologically each day, and you get the lowdown there. But here in this YouTube video, we're focusing on what's going to happen with a specific energy for all signs. So that's what we're looking at here. And in this case, we're going to be looking at this conjunction of Mars and Venus. How delightful. So we're going to go through all the signs and see how this is going to affect us. Let's start with Leo, because it is, well, we're very near to Leo season. It's not Leo season yet, but Leo energy is getting a Guernsey. And so they're going to go first. Okay, so Leo, when we've got this beautiful conjunction of a manifesting energy falling in your first house, Leo rising, Leo sun, Leo moon, well, you're going to feel more inspired, enthusiastic about yourself, about loving yourself, about asserting yourself in the world, and you'll be able to take action now regarding asserting yourself and regarding bringing more pleasure into your life. So you might desire to have a new form of self-expression that comes out. So like new haircut, new hairstyle, or buy some hair extensions, or that Leo mane of hair. You might decide to make that more beautiful, and you might take action regarding that. You might be inspired by a picture that you see of somebody's image, and you're like, oh, that's so inspiring. I'm going to make myself beautiful in a similar way, or dress in a similar way. And you'll put enthusiasm into clothing, into beauty, into beautifying yourself under this energy. And really, because this is the house of the body as well, you'll have a really beautiful connection with your body this week. Enjoying the physical side, enjoying physical expression, whether that's with a partner or not, you'll just enjoy your body more this week. So you might go for a brisk walk, and you come back and you just feel like, yes, the air's filling my lungs, my muscles are feeling strong and empowered, and I'm feeling really good about my body. You might go to the gym and work out, and that might bring you a lot of joy. You might, with Mars conjunct with Venus, you might do something that feels really beautiful, like dancing as a form of self-expression, because to dance is to use your muscles, and Venus rules dancing because it's a beautiful form of bodily expression. So for Leo people, you might be dancing this week, and if you have no plans to do so, then why not switch on the music at home in the lounge room and dance around. It will bring exhilaration and joy and happiness your way. You might also do other beautiful things like, there might be some sort of yoga moves that you find particularly beautiful or empowering. So all of these physical activities of the body can bring you a lot of joy in the realm of first house. And I would suggest that it's not so much physical activity where you connect with someone else, like having a hit of tennis or playing a team sport. It's individual physical activity that will help you feel beautiful and enthusiastic and inspired. So dancing is one, solo dancing, obviously. Yoga is another. So any sort of individual physical expression will be enjoyed by you now under this lovely energy. All right, so moving along, Virgo rising, sun or moon people. The energy of Mars conjunct with Venus is falling in your 12th house, and this is where you're going to be feeling inspired and feeling a lot of enthusiasm. And of course, this is happening in the house of past ancestors. This is our ancestors who want to sort of get in touch with us and get a message through to us in this lifetime. Sometimes if we, people who see ghosts and things like that, that's usually when they have a strong 12th house, that they have the ability to see ghosts, because the 12th house is where the energy of the divine is trying to get through and get a communication through to us and, use us as a channel or speak to us or, connect with us in some way. So what's my point here? For Virgo rising, sun and moon people, you might be feeling very inspired to connect with the divine, or you might receive a message of inspiration from the divine as these two beautiful energies conjunct. It won't be bad. It will be a good inspirational message. There will be a lot of enthusiasm about maybe taking a channeling course or speaking with your ancestors or spirit guides in some way, or hosting a little spiritual ceremony to connect with the other side. Now, not that Mars or Venus has anything to do with those kinds of things, hosting spiritual ceremony or what have you, but the point here is that these two combined bring enthusiasm into our lives. And inspiration into our lives. And so the enthusiasm and the inspiration is in the 12th house realm. That's where you might be enthused. That's where you might be inspired. So you might be inspired to connect with the other side, so to speak. Now, on a more, let's say, grounded level, which Virgo is very good at, you might be inspired artistically, and you might be interested in using your body for art. This is a house of creative inspiration that comes from the divine realms. And so, you might be doing some body art, some body painting, people who paint costumes and stuff on themselves, that kind of thing. Very fanciful. You might be, get the opportunity to go be a party fairy at a children's party and paint butterflies on kids' faces or fairy faces or animal faces or something, that artistic energy of Venus combined with the body expression in creativity of Mars. Body is Mars, Venus is artistic, and here in the house of divine creativity you could come up with some really inspirational expressions of this. We might see, you might encounter one of those street artists who stand, covered in silver paint, and they stand like sculptures and they move only very occasionally, it's like a artistic busking. You might encounter people who are doing that sort of thing on this day. You might encounter an opportunity to do that sort of thing yourself, or to participate in a beautiful photograph, or to participate in a beautiful film. Or there is this energy of participation and action and being involved with Mars conjunct Venus, and here it's falling in your 12th house of creativity, and even creating an illusion is a 12th house thing as well. So there might be an opportunity to create some sort of beautiful illusion. You go get a photography shoot done. It's a great day for doing that, to be honest. You might be taking action regarding, a little bit of film or advertising work, that you want to participate in, or even sort of something magical that is of the written variety as well. Not that Mars or Venus have to do with writing, but this is a house of creative downloads, and when these two come together, you get inspiration. So there might be some inspiration poetically, or through some sort of a ritual or ceremony that's very spiritually oriented. You get a download of inspiration to create more beauty in your life in some way. So lots going on with this energy that could be very profound, but it's most likely going to come through in subtle ways, because this is a hidden house. It's not overt. It's not like, here's the neon sign flashing. If you get any of these kinds of energies manifesting for you, it's going to be sort of in the periphery, like subtly in your life, not sort of blaringly obvious. Because that's the nature of the 12th house. It's very sort of hidden kind of energy. All right, moving along. Libra rising, sun or moon people. You have the energy of inspirational and enthusiastic Venus conjunct Mars falling for you in your 11th house. What does this mean? Well, this means you might encounter new people in your life, new friendships that are very inspiring. New friendships that are full of enthusiasm, people who are bubbly, people who are effervescent might come into your life. You might encounter people who are actually particularly beautiful as well, and there's some sort of sexualized energy about them, not in a bad way, not at all. It's just that they have, I can think of a handful of people I know in my life who are sexy kind of people, just you're not like me, just ordinary everyday people, but people who you just like, gosh, there's something really sexy about them. And you might be encountering people, new friends or old friends, who have that energy of sexiness about who they are. So, this is an energy also of creative inspiration when these two get together as well. So you might think of something creative and inspiring to do with your friends, with a group. You might be in some sort of a not-for-profit organization, and you'll get some creative inspiration on this day for how you can work better towards your end goal with your work. This is also a house of humanitarian causes and activism and that kind of thing. You might get creative inspiration for whatever new event that you're involved with regarding these organizations, these groups, these clubs. So there will be inspiration, there will be creative juices flowing, there will be a lot of enthusiasm here. You might be inspired actually to join a club, to join a group, to join some humanitarian organization or movement. Now, of course, this is also a house of goals and dreams and aspirations. So you might get a brand new hit, if you like, or download of inspiration for a goal or a dream that you want to activate in your life. Maybe a creative endeavor. There might be people, men or women, Mars is men, women is Venus, that come into your life that bring in some mechanism for achieving your goals and your dreams in greater capacity on this day. So something very much to look forward to with these two. If you are Scorpio rising, sun or moon, the conjunction of Venus and Mars is falling in an angular house, so it's very strong then when we have things happening in angular houses. That's a very strong energy, and this is an energy of enthusiasm and inspiration. So your career, your desire to succeed in the world is going to benefit through bringing in some Mars energy and bringing in some Venus energy. What might that look like? It means being more creative, Venus. It means looking for the pleasure in your work, finding pleasure in your creative endeavors or your career endeavors, basically. And Mars here is going to give you the action that is needed towards your career. So let's say you come up with some brilliant creative idea to enhance your career, to enhance your level of success and reputation in the world. You come up with some creative idea on this day. Mars says, right, let's go for it. No mucking around. Let's make this happen. The creativity, the inspiration that is Mars and Venus combined in the house of your worldly success. So pay attention to the downloads that you get, pay attention to the inspiration that you get on this day, because Mars with Venus is going to give you the inspiration for more fulfillment in your career and the enthusiasm for creating more beauty in your career and your worldly achievements as well. There might also be some physical delights in your career environment on this day. So that might look like, maybe there's a morning tea to celebrate something at work. Venus is sweet things. There might be chocolate eclairs and lemon tarts and whatever else that somebody brings in to enjoy. It could be as simple as a manifestation as that. There is a sweet Venus indulgence that you can participate in. Mars is to get involved, and that could be one thing, and that brings delight to your body. But you might even decide that you're going to take your joggers in or and go jogging at lunchtime at work. You might be inspired to move your body and your place of employment. And not that this is place of employment, this is your career aspirations. So if you're going into work and it's your center of your heart's desire for what you want to achieve in the world at work, you might want to take your joggers in and go for a jog during lunchtime. And it could be a manifestation as simple as that. Mars conjunct Venus, bringing the body, bringing physicality into our career environment on the 13th of July. Sagittarius rising, sun or moon people. Well, the energy of Mars and Venus in a conjunction is falling in the 9th house. So this is where you're going to feel like there's more inspiration flowing and feel more fulfillment from inspiration. This is a house of inspiration, actually, as well, where we look to others to inspire us. That's what the 9th house is. It's gurus, it's teachers, it's sort of figures that we uphold, spiritual leaders and that kind of stuff. So you are likely to encounter one of those sorts of people who will inspire you, and their words or their actions might bring you more fulfillment on this day, the 13th of July. There will be enthusiasm for creating more beauty in the world through your experiences. This is a house of learning through experience, actually. So being able to travel, being able to immerse yourself in other cultures, they're 9th house things, and the purpose of those things is to expand the heart, the soul, and the mind. Now, that's how we learn in a 9th house way, by actually physically experiencing what we're learning about. And here you're going to create more beauty in your life. So, you might have a beautiful journey and it just fills the soul with delight and pleasure. Venus conjunct Mars. You take action, you take a journey, you have delight, you have pleasure, and it expands your heart, your soul, your mind. Venus conjunct Mars in the 9th house. So inspiration for more fulfillment, enthusiasm for creating more beauty in your life through a journey, through a trip, through a connection with an inspirational figure. There is also more delight in moving the body, because remember, this is a house of movement. And so you get out there, you move your body. You can be quite fulfilled by doing so. And I would suggest by doing so through some kind of a journey type exercise. So if this is you, Sagittarius, and this comes naturally to Sagittarius people, they enjoy this anyway, but do some sort of exercise that gets you from A to B, like gets you on a journey, like a jog around the lake or taking a bike ride somewhere. Doing yoga on the spot, not really where the body's going to find joy and fulfillment under this energy for you guys. It is much more about taking a trip with your body. Mars, Venus is very sensual, very body-oriented. And so in the house of journeys, go for a walk, go for a jog, go for a ride. Do those things that are active. Even a hit of golf can fit that bill, because you're getting from A to B on the golf course. So great ways to utilize this energy and just enjoy the delight that Mars conjunct Venus can bring. Capricorn rising, sun or moon people. Well, the energy of Mars and Venus in a conjunction for you guys this week by transit is falling for you in the 8th house. So it's 8th house realms where you might get more inspiration for fulfillment in your life. So you might see an acupuncturist, and it just brings sort of, it's not about relief, although Mars and Venus are about body. And so an alternative healing method, which is 8th house, alternative healing. Alternative healing method is acupuncture in Western societies anyway, not so much in other societies, but certainly in the West where I am, it is. Then, doing that sort of 8th house healing mechanism on your body, Mars Venus conjunction is the body, and the feelings of the body and the sensuality of the body can be very therapeutic for you on this day. So if you've never had acupuncture before, you might like to look at that if you are a Capricorn rising sun or moon person. Inspiration for fulfillment can come through maybe connecting with a shaman, connecting with a tarot card reader, connecting with an astrologer. Inspiration for fulfillment this week might come for you guys through, I'm just trying to think, through maybe connecting with a psychologist. Now, psychology is kind of an out of the body thing, Our psychology affects our bodily experience, yes, but it is a more mental thing, not so sensual, not so tactile, not so grounded in earth reality. It's to do mostly with our psyche and sometimes with our past, our karmic past, our past lives. So, but psychology itself, because Mars conjunct with Venus, can bring inspiration that fulfills us. So by connecting with a psychologist or an astrologist, same kind of theory, by connecting with somebody, even though it's a very mental occupation, they can bring inspiration that brings you some sense of satisfaction and fulfillment into your life with this energy. You will also feel enthusiastic about creating more beauty in the world under this influence as well. And so that might be through some sort of spiritual action. You might decide that you're going to host a soul fulfillment party for all your friends or something like that, and you have a friend who's a massage therapist, you have a friend who's a Reiki healer, you have another friend who does astrology as a hobby, and you're like, let's all get together and have this soul fulfillment party. And so you have enthusiasm for bringing more beauty into the lives of other people through 8th house mechanisms, these sort of healing modalities, these alternative practices. That's a great thing to do on the 13th. If you can organize it quickly by then. But you'll have enthusiasm for creating more beauty in the world through 8th house mechanisms. You might come up with a different idea, but that's just one option that I've thought of off the top of my head. There will be delight in centering yourself into the body now. So it's not so much an energy that's going to support you going astral traveling or anything like that here in the 8th house. But delight in perhaps moving our body for the purposes of healing, because the 8th house is a healing house. So there might be a sense of doing dance therapy. I mean, that's just wonderful 8th house Mars-Venus conjunction type energy. Venus is to dance, Mars is the body to move the muscles, and Venus is music as well, to music. And here, I don't know if you've ever been to sort of a dance therapy class, but if you haven't, I highly recommend it. You get into those tribal rhythms, those shamanic drumming kind of energies, and you move your body to those sort of beats and rhythms that shifts and moves stale, stuck, stagnant energy out of the body, and you end up creating space for new, fresh energy to come in. And remember that the 8th house is the house of portals for energy, gateways to the energetic realm. And so I would encourage everyone who's a Capricorn person in whatever way to get involved in maybe some dance therapy under this influence, and you will get so much benefit out of it. You'll be inspired and fulfilled by it. You will be creating beautiful self-body expression under this energy, and delighting in your body in a way that really ties in with 8th house themes. Aquarius, rising sun or moon people, just make sure that's okay there. Well, you guys are having the conjunction of Mars and Venus in the 7th house of relationships. So this could be, if this is touching on your descendant degree, if your descendant degree is at around 19 degrees of Leo, you may find that this triggers some kind of a romantic experience or a love experience or a relational experience. If you're in a marriage, the sexual attraction might be heightened between the two of you if you're in a relationship already. If you're not in a relationship, you might encounter someone who gets that feeling of butterflies happening in your tummy, you know, that kind of stuff. When Mars and Venus, the two planets of relationship, make a conjunction on the descendant, can be quite lovely, actually. Something to enjoy. But you'll find that for all Aquarius rising sun or moon people, there will be inspiration for more fulfillment in your life that comes from others. Other people will provide the inspiration that brings you more fulfillment. How might that express? Well, you know, you might encounter a client who shows you some sense of appreciation. I mean, Leo energy itself is the energy of appreciation and, you know, applause and valuing and being cherished, you know, that sort of adoration, which is a very Leo thing. So here you might encounter a client, seventh house is clients. You might encounter a client who gives you, some Aquarius people, some sort of appreciation and validation that really gives you a great sense of fulfillment and lifts you up. That can happen under this conjunction energy in this particular realm of the chart. Also, there might be, as well as inspiration for more fulfillment, some enthusiasm for creating more beauty in the world. That can happen. Venus is beauty, Mars is to take action. You want more beauty in your relationships? Today's the day to do it. Take action for creating a more beautiful relationship. Whether that's, you know, you want to inspire your partner or to go on a date with you, or you want to organize that yourself. This is a good day for doing that. Create more beauty in the world through going on a glorious picnic with the one you love. Or maybe if we're looking this through a business lens, because this is quite a business house, the seventh house, you might like to do something to create more beauty for your clients to experience. Maybe offer them a free PDF or something like that, you know, in gratitude for their following you on YouTube. You know, maybe I should do that. I'm not Aquarius, but hey, why not? You know, you can create more beauty in your life, in your experience under this energy with your clients, with others, and you can receive it as well, more beauty. You know, you might get a bunch of flowers, or you might get, you know, someone might, I don't know, shout you to a special after work drink or something like that. There can be appreciation and delight that brings more beauty into your day on the 13th. There can also be more delight in moving your body. And of course, when you've got Venus, planet of sensuality, with Mars, planet of sexuality, in the house of relationships, wow, put two and two together, folks. It's going to be potentially a great day for a bit of joy in the bedroom. Why not? Why not go there? Why not plan to do that? You know, buy those rose petals to scatter on the bed. Get that new download of, I don't know, whatever album is nice to have playing in the bedroom, you know. Make more beauty, more romance. Venus is romance. And Leo is not at all adverse to a bit of romance either as well. So make more romance. Make more delight for the body to experience in the physical sense, in the sensual and sexual senses with your partner or significant other. All right, Aquarius to Pisces, Pisces rising sun or moon people. Well, the conjunction of Mars and Venus is happening in your house of work and daily routines. So this might mean that you find that you're particularly inspired to do something for work on this day. So you might get the creative juices flowing with a new project, with a new idea, or you might just be able to take action on a project that's been sitting in the back of your mind for a while, because Mars is to take action. So if you've been looking for a day where you might get some inspiration from the universe to make something happen in your work life, in your daily life, in your health and routine life, Pisces, well, this is the day. You might get that hit of inspiration, and you'll have the momentum and enthusiasm, the motivation to take action for that piece of inspiration as well. There's a lot of enthusiasm where Mars is concerned, and Mars is in great dignity in the sign of Leo anyway. So you'll be inspired to create, or enthusiastic to create more beauty in your workspace, in your office space. So that might mean, you know, quite simply, you might go buy a bunch of jonquils and put them on, you know, the coffee table at work, or on your desk at work. Or you might want to bring in some beautiful photograph or you know, painting or something that brings beauty into your everyday environment. So you might get inspiration for how you can do that. You might something might hit you out of the blue, like, oh yeah, I should light a candle in my, on my desk, and then I'd have that beautiful scent or whatever. You will be inspired to create more beauty and enthusiastic about creating more beauty, not only in the physical realm of your workspace, but in what you do with your daily routine. You will be inspired to create more beauty through your work. So, I mean, this is me, and, I have a couple of plans actually for what I'm going to be doing on the 13th that's going to be about taking action that will bring more beauty into my work life, into what I do that puts bread and butter on the table. So I'm excited to see how this is lining up, actually. We can also have more delight in our body, and this is a house of health and well-being. It's very connected to the body, the 6th house, which is interesting, isn't it, when you think about it, because here the 6th house does not aspect the 1st house, the house of the body, and yet there is a connection to the body with the 6th house, because the body is where we express our health and well-being. 6th house is health and well-being, so hence the connection. So because these two planets, Venus and Mars, are very much tactile, sensual, in the body kinds of energies, we might find in this house of exercise, diet, that we might start a new diet, that we might want to move our body more, and we'll be motivated. So it's a great day to start a new exercise routine, a new diet. It can even extend to sort of, if you're into making lists, making a 6 o'clock I get up, 7 o'clock I go for a jog, 8 o'clock I start work, blah, blah, blah. A new schedule. Mars is a strategist. That's what Mars energy is all about. So it's not about planning and making lists, but it's about strategizing how you're going to spend your day and work with your daily routine. By strategizing Mars, you can actually make your day and your daily routine going forward into the long term more beautiful. So this is actually really, really lovely. Not make lists, bring your Mars and Venus energy into your physical expression of your day, and you will be really blessed by doing so under this combination on the 13th of July. So enjoy. Aries rising, sun or moon people, well, the energy of the conjunction of Mars in Leo with Venus in Leo, well, that is actually going to be activating your 5th house, which is so exciting because this is a house of love. And if you have any personal planets around 19 degrees of Leo and you're an Aries person, then you might find, if you've got your you might have Venus there by natally, then you'll be having your Venus return. Venus also rules your 7th house of relationships, for example. Then it's definitely an energy where you're going to get activation of love and romance and connection and partnership happening if you've got your Venus there and you're an Aries rising person. If you have your Mars there, it's even more powerful for you. The reason being that Mars is your 1st house lord. So if you've got Mars and around 19 degrees of Leo and you're an Aries rising person, then boom, this energy is just can't wait to buzz you, of love and connection that brings self-fulfillment. But even if you don't have any personal planets around this point, as an Aries rising person, this is quite a potent energy for you, because you're getting the Lord of your 7th house connecting with the Lord of your 1st house in the house of love, the house of dating, the house of romance. So Aries, bottom line is you are going to experience more beauty, more love, more pleasure, more romance on this particular day, the 13th of July, something to look forward to. So inspiration for fulfillment in love? Yes. Enthusiasm for more beauty with romance and dating and maybe even creative expression as well? Yes, it's all on the cards for you. Delight in moving your body for pleasure, for joy, for sex. This is a house that is connected to sexuality, I might add as well. Fantastic. Yes, the answer is yes to all of these. They're going to get more sensual enjoyment of the physical world on this day. Aries, something to look forward to. So use this energy to create more beauty in, maybe your hobbies or your self-expression, any kind of creative work that you do. Use this energy to create more pleasure, more fun. Venus is pleasure in the house of entertainments. So use that for that effect. Use this energy to create more, maybe more creative experiences with your children, more enthusiasm with children, or if you don't have children, getting in touch with your own childlike heart and childlike state of being. Get more playful with yourself. Create more beauty with your little Kesenya or little whoever, Get in touch with what your childlike heart wants. Ask yourself, quite simply, what is it that my heart longs for to feel happy? And what answer do you get? Because this is a house of joy. What answer do you get when you ask yourself that? What brings you joy? What makes your heart sing? Whatever the answer is, on the 13th of July, why not invest in pursuing what brings you joy, pursuing what brings you happiness? Whether that's baking some chocolate muffins or going for a swim at the beach, what brings you joy? Invest in that on the 13th, and this energy is going to give you that sense of fulfillment, that sense of beauty in life, in the world. So lovely for Aries rising people this week. For Taurus rising, sun or moon people, well, the energy of Mars conjunct with Venus in Leo is falling in your 4th house. So it's very important, very powerful, because this is an angular house and they tend to express more strongly when we have energies unfolding in angular houses. So this is where it's in your domestic environment, Taurus, this week, where you might be being inspired. You might get an inspiration to redecorate Venus, to make more beautiful. Yes, Venus. But you might also be inspired to go buy some roses, because roses have a dual sort of rulership of Venus-Mars. Mars rules thorns. Venus rules the beautiful flower and the beautiful smell of a rose. You might be inspired to go get some garden plants of that nature that combine Mars and Venus energy and plant them in your garden. You might be inspired to use your body, Mars, use your muscles to get out and get in nature, Venus, in the garden. 4th house is our domestic garden environment. It can be farms as well. It's the land and what the land produces. So you might get, your hands dirty, get active, get physical in a garden space, in a natural space. But more, it's with the 4th house energy, it's more a cultivated natural space, whereas the 2nd house is the more, national parks and that kind of thing. So you will probably be inspired to take action towards doing some gardening or some weeding or creating beauty. Actually, weeding, not likely. Creating beauty in your garden, yes. So that might mean planting some new plants, like I said. You might also be inspired to take more action to beautify your home. So that might mean getting out the paintbrush and, painting away, using your physical body to create more beauty in your home and domestic environment. In whatever way that looks. You might also be inspired to invest in real estate, to take action about some sort of real estate. Now, I'm not suggesting that this is a good day to make real estate deals or sign real estate contracts. I'm not saying that at all, but this is a house of real estate. And Mars is entrepreneurial. Mars rules real estate agents. So some people might encounter a beautiful real estate agent on this day. Venus is beauty, Mars is real estate agents in the house of property development and what have you. So that could be the case. But you might also be inspired to start looking for beautiful properties to invest in. Or you might even just decide you're going to watch that wonderful new Netflix series, L'Agency, the French agency on Netflix. I love that show. Can't wait for the next series to come out. But you might be inspired to simply watch a Netflix show in the comfort of your own home, 4th house, about real estate agents in France. Beautiful, dealing with luxury, Venus, luxury homes and castles and what have you in Paris and surrounds. So why not? Real estate, property, land, gardens, home, domestic environment with Venus beauty, luxury, and of course Mars is real estate agents. So you can see how the planets combine to give their particular expression, can't you? And yeah, that's just one example. This is also the house of the maternal line. So it does behove us to have a good connection with our mothers or our maternal line under this influence as well. So just feeling good, feeling inspired to connect in a beautiful way with our maternal line or our place of origin, our community that we come from, sort of seeing it in a good light. Maybe it might only express through a reminiscence. You're just reminiscing about, oh, it was so great growing up in that environment, and that's it, and that's how the energy expresses for you on the 13th of July. But that is still the energy where you have a beautiful memory and recollection of this particular fourth house childhood environment. Let's hope that whatever happens, it's something that you enjoy. Watch that Netflix series, it's wonderful. Okay, Gemini rising, sun or moon people. You guys are having the energy of Mars conjunct with Venus in your third house. And so this is where we can be inspired and get more fulfillment in our life. And it's through third house mechanisms, connecting with neighbors, might be connecting with siblings, might be participating in a workshop. Potentially. I'm going to be doing a Astro Soul workshops actually from now on. Anyone in Victoria and New South Wales who would like an Astro Soul workshop with me, do get in touch through my website. But that's the kind of thing, you might participate in some kind of a workshop and it brings a lot more beauty into your life. It brings inspiration into your life. It brings a sense of fulfillment. So if you've got lined up to do a workshop on the 13th of any sort where you're going to learn new skills and hone new abilities, just realize that it's likely to be very valuable to you because of the conjunction of Venus and Mars. It's not going to be one of those workshops where it's yawn, waste of time, why did I even bother coming? It's going to be the opposite. You're going to really get a lot out of it actually. So fulfillment and inspiration go hand in hand with what you're doing with workshops. Also, interactions with neighbors, interactions with siblings can be very fulfilling too. And you probably have more enthusiasm for these sorts of things under this influence. Enthusiasm for going to a workshop, enthusiasm for connecting with your siblings and, reaching out and having a phone call or getting in touch or communicating in some way, sending an email, all of these communicative things that happen here. Now, this is also an energy that's very physical. It's very in the body kind of energy, Mars with Venus. So you might physically connect with a neighbor. You might go next door to your neighbors and say, hey, look, I just picked some apples off my tree. They're ripe at the moment. Hey, do you want... just thinking there's nowhere in the world where apples would be ripe at the moment. It's the wrong season. But I don't know. Apricots, mandarins, whatever. But hey, look, I just picked these off my tree. Would you like some? And you physically interact with your neighbors. You physically interact with your siblings. You physically interact in a workshop space. And it brings you a lot of delight because this is a physical energy. Now, it's not about getting intimate and, rumpy-pumpy with the neighbors. That's not what I'm saying. It's about just being in the body and making connections. Very social house, the third house. It's about connecting. It's about interacting with others. And so here, your body, your physical body wants to interact with others, be in others' energy. So why not? It's also a house, the third house, of small trips. So because this is an energy of the body, Venus and Mars, you will get pleasure out of taking small trips. And that might mean, for exercise sake, you decide that, you're going to do like go to a dance session and you dance the whole way, because Venus is to dance, the whole way around the room, everywhere. You don't just stand in the spot, you feel the whole room, a small trip around a dance space. For example, or you might decide you're going to go for a walk around the block or a jog around the local oval or something like that. Getting inspired and enthusiastic about using your body for a small physical expression and physical journey. So it could be something as simple as that. And it could even be that you decide you're going to go shopping. This is a house of buying and trading and selling. Venus here likes to go shopping and spend the money, and Mars makes you take action on that. You know, you might get the inspiration, I think I might go buy myself a new jumper, and so instead of just thinking about it, you'll actually do it. Mars inspires you to go doing a bit of buying and selling and trading and that sort of thing. You could also, I would say as well, Gemini people, be inspired about some sort of a new business venture, new business product that you want to develop and sell. That can also be a thing. You might also get some good inspiration for advertising and marketing if you are in business also. So plenty of things happening. It's a very active kind of energy. And finally, thanks for waiting until last, beautiful Cancer, rising, sun and moon people. You've got a big week this week with the new moon falling in your first house, which I'm sure you will enjoy, will bring you a lot of pleasure. But this week in the Astro Weather Report, we're looking at the conjunction of Mars and Venus. Mars and Venus are very bodily oriented energies. They're very sensual, they're very in the tactile kind of experience of the human form, and here it's falling in the second house of self-worth and self-value. The things that we treasure are second house things, and so you are going to treasure, you know, the experiences of the body on this day. You will value what your body experiences, and you probably find pleasure in what the body experiences. So, you know, you might like to plan for that, you know, like what will bring you pleasure physically. Why not plan for that and plan to enact it on the 13th of July? Maybe that's going to, I know one thing that I love to do is to go and enjoy a high tea. That might be something that you can physically do. Take your body to a high tea and experience the pleasure and the decadence, Venus's luxuries, of eating some beautiful, you know, pavlovas or cheesecakes or something at a high tea. Venus is sweet tooth as well. So, but why not? I mean, energies come and go. There's energy, there's plenty of energetic time for being on a diet, but why not enjoy when the energy is ripe for enjoying, you know, a lemon tart or something like that, you know, going for high tea. So that's just one example. But the body is going to be able to enjoy pleasures and indulgences, and you will value the experiences that your body has, whether it's going to a high tea, whether it's walking through the park on your lunch break and enjoying the sunshine. You know, you will value your experiences in the body on this day. Now, having just mentioned parks, this is the second house has to do with the natural environment, like, you know, being out in say a state park or a national park or something like that, you know, any kind of natural space. And so moving your body in a natural space is a great thing to do. You'll delight in that. There'll be sensual pleasure in being in your body in the natural realm. You know, so if you get the opportunity to go to a national park or to maybe take a drive out to a, you know, nearby reserve or something like that and have a picnic, why not? This is a perfect energy for doing that sort of thing. It can bring you pleasure. And of course, this is an energy where you'll be enthusiastic about creating more beauty in the world as well. Here in the second house, which is a house of food, you'll probably be very enthusiastic about like going for a picnic or creating some pleasurable experience with food that involves food in some way. So enjoy that, set something up like that, and make the most of this energy that's working for you in that manner. So enthusiasm for creating more beauty in the world, of course, this is in the natural environment as well. So you might want to sort of buy some plants or something like that and enjoy some plants. This is also a house that has to do with shopping and how we spend our money. So there might be some pleasure by taking your body shopping, by taking action, Mars, to go looking at shops, you know, and clothes and what have you, all those Venus things. There could be pleasure in that for you. It's not gonna, I'm not gonna give you any warning bells saying, oh, don't spend too much money. This isn't an energy for overindulgence or anything like that. It's really just an energy for inspiration, enthusiasm, and delight in the things of the second house and the things of Venus and Mars. So enjoy the shopping, enjoy the food, enjoy being in your body in nature, and you'll be totally channeling the full potential of this energy in its nicest form. So my lovely friends, that is our whiz around the horoscope for this week. Well, it's been so lovely to join with you and take a look at what's unfolding with Venus and Mars. We might just close with, a prayer, but one other way I like to term it is to create good energy space for the week ahead. So we're going to create some right energy space. Energy of love in the universe. We are excited for this week, which is going to give us an uplift and a blessing after the intensity of early July. And we thank you that everything is cyclical, that things change, and that we can learn from the tough times, and we can delight when we are conscious and aware. We can delight in the pleasurable times that come to us. And thank you that those times are coming this week. Help us to really feel into that energy and be in a state of pleasure and joy in our body. And so it is. Well, thank you one and all. I will have another Astro Weather Report for you next week. Till then, all my love.